Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T. I'm here with Benson Henderson, the UFC lightweight champ. He's facing Nate Diaz Saturday night at UFC on Fox, and I see the toothpick is back, Benson. You're feeling comfortable then, right?
Well, yeah, the toothpick never really goes away. Sometimes I tuck it away and keep it hidden. Sometimes I just have it out, so it never really goes away. It's just always there.
But it is something that keeps you in good spirits, keeps you calm, it's just like your habit. You have it when you're working out. I mean, you just...
Yeah, it's definitely, it's a bad habit. I probably shouldn't have it as much as I do. I probably would get yelled at later on for having it in as I do these interviews and stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a bad habit of mine, but, you know, whatever.
So you're obviously in a good mood leading into this fight, though. Nate Diaz, certainly a challenging opponent. What do you feel are the most dangerous weapons he's got? For Nate, he brings a lot of physical tools to the game. His length, his reach, his jiu-jitsu game. You have to be aware of all that, but more than that, what we're trying to pay attention to, what we prepared for, is his mental approach to fighting, the way he gets fighters emotional and upset in the middle of a fight, and then they make a mistake and throw a flying knee from 5 feet away, and then he capitalizes on that mistake. If you're fighting somebody and he flips you off, or he says this, he says that, and then all of a sudden you get mad in the middle of a fight, what did you say to me? And then do something silly. Like, that's definitely an advantage for him. So we definitely focus on that, pay attention to that, and tried to work on that. So you basically had people smack talking you while you were training? Yeah,
it was weird.
Was it?
Yeah.
How did it affect you? Because, you know, that's the whole thing. When emotion comes into it, like you just said, you can let your technique go and everything. So what was your response? And were you surprised or not surprised by your own response?
I was surprised at how much it did affect me. I won't lie. At first, it threw me off. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to work on now Effie's going to say this to you, or Joe Riggs, Joe's going to say this to you. Some other training partners, oh, they're going to talk smack now. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, no problem. And then they say, like, whatever they say, I'm like, what'd you say to me, sucker? Like, what? Like, you know, you get mad. Like it's your natural reaction to get upset. So we had to work on that, on staying calm. Like, all right, stay relaxed and keep going with the game plan.
I saw Jose Aldo the other day, the featherweight champ. He told me he believed that you won both fights with Frankie Edgar. How do you feel about that?
That's pretty cool. I got a ton of respect for Jose Aldo, representing the WC in the building, you know.
Schaller.
Yeah, you know. But I got a ton of respect for him. He's a great fighter. I respect his opinion very much. The fact that he thought that I won both fights is pretty cool. I do respect that.
And I know there's been a lot of talk about it where you feel like, no, I don't have to put a specific win on this, but certainly beating Nate Diaz, I would think, would quell any of the critics who thought that you didn't beat Frankie.
Yeah. Well, anytime you defend and keep on winning, like, you can win a pretty close fight or a football game. You can win a razor close football game. If you win the next one and win the next one and win the next one, then they kind of forget about that. Oh, but if you win a super close fight and it's a controversial split decision, and the next fight you lose, then it's like, oh, well, that means he should have lost the first one. Blah blah blah. That being said, I want to win all my fights. I don't care whether it's by a controversial split decision, whether it's by unanimous, whether it's by a knockout, wherever the case is, I will take it. W's are hard to get. Ask the ton of guys who are no longer in the UFC and trying to get back there. W's are hard to get in the UFC. There's probably no other sport that is harder to win at. How much you have to sacrifice and go through to get a W. People don't realize that. It's hard. It's tough. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, it's draining. But just going out there and get that W, that's what it's all about.
Now, you are from this area originally, and you said that you used to watch the Sonics game. So, is it a Sean Kemp, Detlef Schrempf situation? Who are your boys?
I like the glove. I like Gary Payton a lot. Being a smaller guy, I was a smaller guy. Yeah. I was always trying to be like the glove. Great defense. Great leadership. He was perhaps one of the last great point guards who actually ran the court and played point guard, but could still do a little bit of scoring, take over the game with his defense. But he ran the floor. He directed things. Now you got point guards not directing anything. They're just looking to score points. They're looking to throw up threes. They're not looking to set up their other players. Gary Payton was perhaps one of the last great ones.
Well, I mean, the game has changed. It is a lot more about me than the team.
It is. The game has changed quite a bit.
I'm not saying for better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like passing.
Yeah, the game has changed, though, a lot. It has.
Last question. Anytime I do an interview with you or we show your weigh-ins or anything, there's always a bunch of comments about this.
Oh, yeah.
So can you talk about that for a second? Explain what it is?
This right here, is always a shout out to my coach John Crouch. It's a shout out to, he's very proud of his lineage. He took over 100 personal classes with Halo Gracie. He lived in Torrance, California with the Gracies. He got his black belt from Horian, from Hoist Gracie. He's very proud of that. All the Gracies are very proud of their lineage. Every Gracie symbol, every affiliate gym is a triangle, the Gracie triangle, but then something unique about it, like a A in it or a B in it or a rhinoceros or something just different, unique about it. But it shows their lineage to the Gracie family. So for me, me being proud of my coach John Crouch, I want to give ups to his you know, we call it direct from the source. Like he didn't take he didn't get his black belt from a guy who got his black belt from Halo Gracie. He was one step down. It was Haleo and Hoist and those guys, and he was one step down. And that's, you know, pretty pure from the source. He's very proud of that. Our gym is a Gracie gym. We're proud of that. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of John Crouch. So we throw that up.
Nice. And lastly, you were showing off, speaking of pride, you were showing off something about your gear, your under gear here. What's going on?
The UFC has officially made it to Fox.
Oh!
Just want to rep that a little bit. We're on Fox now. That's right, in case you didn't know.
Big time, big time. Well, congratulations already on being the champion, and best of luck to you on Saturday night.
Thanks, Karen. Appreciate it.
For one moment.